Hello, everyone. The 6 dimensions of wellness entail emotional, occupational, physical, spiritual, intellectual, and social. Now, when it comes to what specifically I learned in the assessment, I was a little confused just because there was so many of them, but at the same time, one of the things that I learned is just I try to live, or it's a representation of me living a little bit more of a healthier life. What also surprised me is the basic understanding of what maybe nutrition is, because it's not very accurate, especially with some of the representations of dairy and whole grains here in the United States. Those definitions are a lot different in a lot of different areas, and our bodies don't process the majority of the breads and the majority of the milk that we eat here in the United States. So the dairy that we have here is not actual milk; it is a milk product, or what I would like to think is a milk product, mainly because milk actually comes from a cow, and the liquid that we think is milk is really a pretty changed chemical substance from what it was when it came out of that cow. As well as the majority of the bread that you buy in stores, unless you go to an artisanal bread maker, you're really not going to get real bread, and bread that is actually pretty healthy for you. Read Michael Pollan's book Cooked. You'll learn a lot about it, as well as maybe watch his series on Netflix. So yeah, the nutrition aspect per the assessment says that nutrition was my weakest part, and I used to be a chef, so that is not accurate, but according to the assessment, that is where it was. Also environmental for me. The other ones were very high. 90s, 85, so maybe spiritual. That might have been another one of my weaknesses. So, and maybe some of the factors that led to these weaknesses, I guess, in the spiritual and environmental. I've been trying to take care of the environment a little bit more, and I think that the more that I understand wellness, and I think the more that kind of incorporate and read more things and understand more about my environment, I think that'll help me overall. So when it comes to the 3 strongest dimensions of wellness, I would think my nutrition, the alcohol and drugs part, neither one of those play a really, really big factor in my life. Social is clearly, I like to spend time with my friends, and stress. I used to be a chef and a journalist, so stress really doesn't bother me anymore, because I've had 2 of the toughest jobs that anyone could ever have, that have really just honed in on the stress aspect and kind of just made it something that's very easy to deal with on my end. So I guess which of the lifestyle factors led to these strengths, I guess you could say. A little confused by that question. Really what I've learned that wellness is just kind of being aware of what you're putting in your body or surrounding yourself with. So I think that is probably the biggest thing. I guess one of the ways that I can improve my weakest dimension, which would be environment, is just maybe recycle some more. Maybe start composting. I think that would be very, very beneficial. So that should be my video journal for this first week. Yeah, excited to learn a lot more in this class.